Yeah.
Yeah, we in the building. 4 times dope. Yeah, we known to get it live, man. 4 times dope. New level, keep it high, yeah. 4 times dope. Mic check, now we on the we live.
Welcome back. Another episode of the D.O.P.E podcast. Um, I am Jermaine, Mr. Jermaine Jones, along with my three dope co-hosts. And I'm actually allowed to introduce themselves tonight. I'm actually not doing that shit. So we're gonna start with Mr. Kishara.
What's up, y'all? It's Kisharo Easterlin. A place to be. It's the only place y'all need to be right now. The 4 Times Dope podcast.
I'm Quam Dukes. What's going on? Kwame, but we can go by Quam Dukes. And how everybody doing this evening? We're about to have a good time tonight, fellas.
What up, y'all? It's Jamie, Young Stedman Graham, shouting out from Raleigh, North Carolina. Let's do this.
No doubt. Let me start by saying, first of all, I was actually listening to this particular song actually earlier today, Verbal Intercourse, Nas, Ghost, and Raekwon, and it immediately took me back to Maine, 306, third floor, Whitley Hall. Immediately took me back. So, question before we get started, like, what song is nostalgic for you guys? Like, what takes you back to a time on campus?
Oh,
Even-
my God.
It's so many.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start at. 95? So what was hot in 95 was what was hot in 94, which was Nas and
Biggie.
Biggie's album.
Yep.
Machine Gun Funk was it for me, man. Machine Gun Funk, Biggie, man. I bought that CD. I bought that CD with my governor's page money. I stayed up here in Raleigh. I did the governor's page my senior year of high school, and they gave us $100 to stay up here in Raleigh. And I went call him my uncle. My uncle Jimmy took me to the mall, and I bought that damn Ready to Die CD, and that shit rocked all the way. I still got that CD. Thinking about it, yeah, I still got it. Yeah.
Damn. I mean, what would you say?
Yeah, man.
Hey, like you said, it's kind of hard. Some reason, I don't know why it wasn't necessarily. I mean, it was hot, but it wasn't my favorite. But I think I remember hearing like, was it the Fugees? It came out in '96 when they
95, 96.
97?
Well, I came in '96, so I'm a year behind y'all. So
Might have been 96. The Fugees came through.
yeah, I want to say it's when it came out. The score.
Club
Score,
Drop.
yeah.
You used to play shit all the time.
Yeah.
No reason I say that because I felt like that's all I was hearing during the time walking in the hallway, and everybody, like, every door was playing it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it might have been like the first semester, so that kind of sticks out to me if I'm correct.
I gotta look this up.
But I might be wrong.
So you gotta look it up.
Yeah, let's look this up.
Dang, it's so many for me. Jeez. I guess what comes to mind right now is Busta
Right.
Rhymes Woo-Ha. I remember us going to we went to some party. I can't remember which one it was, but it was some party, and I just remember that was just like the hot song right there. You know, everybody was on the dance floor, so
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah, you're
takes
right,
me
Kwame.
back.
It was
Fuji came
96.
out February 96. February 96.
Damn, why was I feel like I was hearing it like it just came out, but I just feel like I was hearing it because I graduated in '96 and I can't. So yeah, but I feel like I was hearing it in the dorm the whole lot.
You would have heard it in the
was
fall of
still
96.
hearing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well played. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
maybe
it was still knocking.
So maybe what it was then. So that's the first memory I think I have. So like I said, it might not be the only one, but that's the first one coming to mind. Like you said.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, let me say this. I think, questions like that, I know for me, man, and again, I get excited when we together like this because you guys are my extended family. Jamie, I remember when like freshman year, you actually stayed in my crib for Thanksgiving holiday, right?
It was
the whole-
not Thanksgiving, dog. It was
What was it, Christmas
it was
break?
March. No. What's that? Spring break.
Spring break.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, spring break. I went to
Yeah, we
Wide
ate my
Awake.
mom house at home. We ate all my mom food. I never forget that. But
Hey, I packed like I was never leaving.
yeah, real, real. But you know what?
Yeah.
The thing is that you know when we get together like this and actually just to even see like where you guys are at now in life, it gives you a feeling of like a family because we're at the end of the day. And speaking of family, I want to begin with begin talking about or discussing an element of family, right, that plagues every single family, right? And this particular dynamic of family is somewhat unfavorable, right? We don't have these issues, but I think it's important we talk about this.
Mhm.
Um, but let me say this first. Let me start by saying this. I think you know, well, I don't think no, come together with family just like now. It's supposed to be, it should be a blessing, not supposed, it should be a blessing, when we come with family and everything. But sometimes it doesn't happen. And then on the flip side of that coin, when it comes to family, fellas, there's two methods that I believe. Um one is you can break one toothpick, but you can't break five, right? You know what I mean? Like one, if you stand on, you may not, you'll make it, but you won't be as resilient. But you have strong family to be easier for you to make it. And the other saying is blood is thicker than water. Okay. But there's envious blood in our family too. And I think that's important to talk about, because at the end of the day, we all need to be able to handle and deal with that. So, with that being said, how do you or how have you all handled um, envious or jealous family members? You think, Jamie,
Well,
you can start it off, man. Tell us what's going on.
jealous or envious family members. I think that would have to extend out to cousins and stuff because I have two sisters, an older sister and a younger sister. They don't give a shit. So what would be? Go do what you do, Jamie. Just don't bother us about it. Uh,
That's
but
crazy.
it would probably be because I was never, well, not never. I was rarely around. I was always gone. So the question is, how are you in college? It's like I graduated 10 years ago. I'm not in college no more. So I guess my family, as in distant cousins, would refer to me as college boy or Joe College. And it's like, you goddamn right, nigga. I'm not gonna stay here in Red Springs. Red Springs is in Robertson County, which has one of the poorest school systems in the state. And it's like, you want me to stay here and do what? Be here?
Mm.
So there was a lot of envy, and it's kind of like backhanded. You still in school? Yeah, I happen to be in school. Or when I finally graduate, it's like, no, I'm not in school anymore. I have my own business. It's like, so what you doing? So it's a bunch of snide, backhanded compliments that come from these country ass cousins that, only some Carolina boys can do, or only, you know, people like that would do from the country.
So they saying like it's
Yeah,
an issue almost in a sense, but they trying to like
It's backhanded,
be underhanded behind it.
yeah. And
underhanded.
see, the thing is, I'm sorry. What I was gonna say, the thing is, this whole concept is certainly not a damn urban legend or some type of
Nah,
delusion. The shit exists, and
mm-mm.
I think at the
Yeah,
end of the day, I think what's sad is that success a lot of times with black folks, it's limited. If you're not successful illegally, then what you're doing doesn't exist.
uh-huh.
Or if I can't ride your coattail, then I got an issue with that. You understand what I'm saying? That's just
Right.
my personal perception. Yeah, Kwame, what you say?
Yeah, you can't lay
What
claim
we
to it.
Well, like I said, I don't think it's amongst my siblings as well. I feel like we support each other for the most part. So I never got the feeling that one of us was like envious or jealous of each other. Like I said, it could probably possibly like distant cousins and stuff that as well. I can't really tell you like a direct time as far as we're involving me. I mean, it may have, but I just don't recall it. But I've seen it amongst them, I guess, in a sense, whatever and stuff. And it might be something like little, like you said, underhand stuff. It never comes out real like uh inflammatory and real disrespectful, but it's always like, oh, you sure think you're all right with your little, with your little new car over there. It'd be stuff like that, you know what I mean? Or somebody got kind of a compliment, whatever, and stuff, but they saying it as if like it's kind of an issue, but they're trying to present it like it's not. But like nobody's stupid. You can read between the lines and you can kind of tell what they're getting at. And I don't know why that's the case. But I also think it's also it could be an honest feeling though. You know what I mean? Like, but I think it's a difference between jealousy and envy as well. So I mean, I think jealousy is a more dangerous thing, and you kind of wanting to like take away or wishing that you had that rather you had what they have rather than what they actually have. So I think envy might be like you might like I might be envious. Oh, okay, they went to Jamaica or something. They went to the Bahamas.
Right.
Yeah, right now I wouldn't mind being there too. So that might be like an honest envy thing that you may have, but I don't think that's like mean spirited or you wishing the downfall of nobody. But when you start wishing somebody, don't deserve something and wishing that you have it, that's a problem. And I think that's something you have to kind of work through and not trying to present that way, especially somebody you're supposed to care for. It's supposed to be your family. You'll be friends too. That's the same thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a slippery slope though. I think that the examples you just gave of envy, I think those are like real examples, but that envy could turn into jealousy, and that's where the lines get blurred. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah. So, because I don't think like. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, me personally, my siblings and I, my mom definitely planted a foundation where that could never exist, but definitely with extended, families and even some older family members. I'm a firm believer that people treat you the way they feel like themselves. You understand what I'm saying? And I think a lot of times, when you're cut from the same cloth as folks and they didn't maximize their 24 hours, I think at the end of the day they start feeling some kind of way. So but anyway, I just wanted to make that point. Kisharo, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No, I agree with you 100% on that. For me, with my siblings, no, I don't think we had that jealousy, envy thing. I think it's so many different layers to jealousy and envy. I think it's kind of hard to put into words. Like, I think a lot of times, family, I think just people, but since we're talking about family, we're going to talk about family. I think a lot of times because people don't see you every day, they have a perception of what they think you have going on. You know what I mean? I think social media plays a big part in that. You know what I mean? They see you posting pictures about you went this place or you went that place or you might got a new car, you got a new house or whatever the case may be. And people just have the perception, oh, you're doing good. Or, look at you. Like it's some type of, you know the difference of how the conversation, how something is said to you is kind of like, you trying to be funny, you know what I mean? Like somebody say stuff like that, so it comes off as, but then like, can't you just be happy for me that I'm able to do these things? I'm able to take vacations. I'm able to, provide for myself or provide for my family. So you do get it, a lot, and it's unfortunate that it happens in families, but it happens and it's real. Just how
Kwame just said you can feel it.
Yeah, how you deal with it, I think, is the thing. But yeah,
that's true. I you know what I think in terms that I think it's something that we all at some point, if you haven't experienced, you will experience. It definitely makes you uncomfortable when you do experience it, because you're like, damn, this is the tribe, right? The unit. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, man. Kwame, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
No, you good. But I think it's like I said, like Kisharo kind of said, it's perception. A lot of times it's perception, and like I said, when you're not around, people perceive that you could be doing worse or better. And at the end of the day, no one really knows the real truth, especially when you're not seeing that person and you don't really know what people are going through in their individual household. So I think a lot of people, and whether it's innocent or not, but then when they kind of like put that out there and say little comments, it's just like, yo, where you coming from? I don't know. Every time I see you, always going somewhere. Like, I guess it's a compliment, but I don't know because they don't sound like one. So it's just like, yo, what are you like? What are you getting at? But at the end of the day, you don't know, like we could have planned for this, you know what I'm saying? Put money aside, whatever and stuff. And that might have been a priority for us to do those things. So in the day, it's not because somebody's making so much money or whatever else. It could be properly preparing for that situation, whatever and stuff.
Yeah.
And what you choose to do with your money and the activities you want to do or lack of activities you want to do, that, you know, that's kind of on you. So when you kind of say that, you kind of like, I mean, I don't know how you necessarily address it, you know, because I don't know. It may depends who it's coming from and all that, but sometimes you just be feeling
It
that.
becomes
Like,
a thing about when when friends or family come at you with underhanded compliments about you taking these many trips, well, they would know the first step more than likely. They would know the first. Well, how do I even pick a trip to say Cancun or Puerto Rico? You know, hotel. You got to get on the internet for that. They ain't got the internet. You know.
Or they may not
I
know how to navigate.
apologize. I apologize. They do have internet. They got their phone. They don't have credit cards, money in the
Yeah.
bank. You know, a way to get there. You got to you got to have a car to get from out of Red Springs to Durham. Excuse me, to Raleigh, Durham to
so
the you know
RDU,
the airport.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
You got to have a credit card to get. You know, you got to get an Uber. It's too many steps that they're not familiar with. I mean,
and people buy into deception. I think at the end of
yeah.
the day, if folks posted their struggles on social media, I
Oh yeah.
wonder I wonder what would be the culture of social media at that point, right? Everybody posts the victories, which is cool. Shit, live your life,
Yeah.
but what if people start posting the struggles, right? I think at the end of the day, it would be that culture. So, but
Nah,
Yo,
people start coming. Jermaine, what's wrong with you?
yeah.
Nothing. This is real life. This bad thing happened to me today.
Yeah, it's
Like
a
it's not the
learning
end of the
lessons.
world.
It's how you
Yeah.
growing.
Yeah.
But that's equivalent to a basketball, high school basketball player or high school football player sending a potential college program their bloopers or things they did. Like, you're just not
Oh
going to do
yeah.
that. You know what I
I'm gonna
mean?
see
You
this
know, you're not
time I
going to
got my
highlight those
yeah.
moments, and those are the moments that actually maybe taught you the most, where you learn from it, you grow from it, and you know not to make those mistakes, or how to navigate that situation. So, like I said, but I don't know. It's a lot of perception with this, even social media itself. A lot of people read to a lot of different things about
Mm-hmm.
that, and they can try to determine who you are and what you're about based off those things, and have no idea what's going on.
I just thought about something real quick. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. Is this envy or jealousy? Like I said, me and my siblings never had that. But as I'm sitting here thinking about it, what category would this fall in? So I got two younger brothers, but my baby brother, a lot of times as I look back on life as far as things I did versus things he did, he got away with a lot of more stuff that I know my
Because
mama
he's a
would not
baby.
have dealt with. Right. And now that I think that makes a
Yeah.
difference. So I do look at that. So when I think to myself, damn, I would never got away with that. You know what I mean? Is that envy? Or what is that? What does that fall under?
That's a good
I don't
question.
think it's envy. Me personally, I don't think. I mean, you take it back. I take it back. I think it could be like some residue of envy there in terms of feeling slighted. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I didn't get a chance to get away with that, or I couldn't instead. I couldn't get away with that. Instead, I had to watch everybody or keep them, whatever the case may be. But I think Jamie might. No, Kwame mentioned it earlier. Um, if that transitions into like hate for the rest of your life again for your brother, I think at that point, I think it's a big issue. But
That's a
Yeah,
good
that's what I
point.
was saying. It was I never even though I held on to, you just had it like, damn, I wouldn't got away with that. And that was the extent of it. You know what I mean? So that's why I asked the question, like, where does that fall? Is that
yeah,
envy or is that just an observation?
But also, like, so we all come from different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Because Jermaine, you're the
Yeah.
baby of your household as
yeah,
far as your siblings. Me and Kashara was the oldest, and then and Jamie's like the middle child. So we all may have a different
And the
perspective.
only boy.
And the only boy.
oh,
I'm the only
yeah,
boy in my situation too, though. So that's a
But you're
factor
more of
too.
a parent than you are just the older brother. You're more of an older parent because how far is Keisha from you? Like 2 or 3 years?
Nah, she's 4 years. No, she's 5 years younger than me.
Wow, that's
Five.
crazy.
Yeah.
So, well,
Yeah.
Sean and I, my older sister Sean and I were more like a couple, right? Because we're 10 years, well, I'm 10 years older than Amber. So Amber's like our daughter because
Mm-hmm.
we had to take care of her. So Mama went on these PTA boards, and she went on all these trips. You think Elmo Patterson was gonna come on a trip with me to anywhere? She didn't have time or money. She didn't have the means to do
Yeah.
so, and the timing of it all. So
Right.
she wasn't gonna come on no trip with me, or better yet, Amber could do what she wants to do because she had Amber when she was 28, which means that she had more knowledge about what kids can do. So yeah, them kids, the youngest ones got away with everything because the parents is like, well, shit, you got them.
Yeah, natural for the kids
You
to have
got them.
like for example, I remember shit, my senior year in high school, I had my own phone line in my room. Like my mom got tired, girls calling the house. She was like, fix that.
Hmm.
And then and my older brothers was like, yo, like, like damn, I ain't never had that. I'm
Tim,
like,
you
look,
said that?
yeah, they I'm saying they didn't ever have that phone line. I had my own phone line, phone in the room, like two different rings in the house. Like my mom was like, nope, you won't tie my line up. No. So
Yeah,
but I think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
natural.
I do think, like I said, even when you
Yeah,
come to
but that's not a bad idea, in my opinion.
what you said, Jamie?
I don't think that's a bad, quote unquote, bad envy.
Oh, okay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That's just
no,
you
not at all.
It's
comparing the older
harmless.
sibling. That's different than say y'all out here getting it. It's like, no, we all gonna get it.
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I think too. Like I said, when you kind of have a certain position when it comes to the siblings, it's also like you have a role. So I know, like when I I know that me being the oldest and being the only boy, then it's almost like I look at things differently in regards of like I didn't want it to be any additional burden to my parents. So I look at it
Hmm.
like, yo, don't worry about me. Just make sure my sisters are cool, whatever and stuff. So like even when I went to school, man, I can honestly remember. I think my parents may give me money like twice that I actually remember. I could be wrong, but I know it's probably my freshman year when I got there. I got some money, and then maybe that first homecoming they sent me some money. I don't even know how I survived, to be honest with you, because I mean I know we got
That's
hookups
crazy.
and all that stuff and everything, and
We made it
but
work,
like
right?
outside that, man, I don't even like I didn't work until
That
I
refund check.
refund check did help me
Yeah.
up a little bit because I was spending like a damn dummy
Damn right
doing
it
that.
helped you a little bit. It helped you a
Yeah,
lot of bit.
they helped me a lot. But then, like I said, for
Shit.
me actually working, I didn't work until my second semester sophomore year. So I went a whole
Mm.
like 3 semesters while in school. I mean, I worked in the summertime, but like as far as like having a job and maintaining
Hmm.
some money while I'm there. So I don't like, but all that derived from the fact that like, yo, don't worry about me to work with my sisters, whatever and stuff. And I felt like that was my responsibility. Like, yo, I don't need to be calling them, asking them for nothing, or anything else. And it still hold true today because in the day I don't ask my parents for anything. If they decide to give me something, I may take it. But as far as me asking, I just don't feel right,
Yeah.
to do so. And I
Hmm.
think just because that's my position in the household as far as my siblings and stuff go. So,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
that's
but
true.
anyway, just because we're talking about families and the family dynamic, I know one of the things that usually comes, dealing with your family is timelines, and I think sometimes our family members, even friends or people who don't know you, they have a certain timeline for you when you should, and one of the most common timelines is, especially if you're an adult, is like when you're getting married and when you're having children. And it may not be in that order, but you start hearing it. It may be different depending on sex. I think maybe women might get a little bit more pressure more than guys, I think. But I mean, guys get
Oh
it
yeah.
too. So what are y'all thoughts about family pressuring people and giving them timelines as far as about getting married and or having kids? Jamie, you can go ahead. Oh, let's start with
Uh,
Jermaine. Let's start with Jermaine. Let's start with
oh,
Jermaine
what
because
you mean?
Jermaine is like the single guy here. I should have started. That should have been easy.
Yeah.
Let me listen. Let me tell y'all something real quick. Listen. First of all, I remember every single young lady I dated, and I probably brought around. And it's funny because it's not my mom's family. Mom is a different. She just sees through their people. It's like my dad's side of the family, my old aunties, and well, my dad's side of the family. Some of my family on the mom's side, and the conversation goes like this. Hey, what's up, Jermaine? How you doing? Ain't seen you in a while. Who's your friend? Who's your? Oh, this your girl? Yeah. When y'all get married? And then
Damn.
like say like when you gonna marry that girl? And in my mind, a lot of times I want to say, how you gonna ask me that when your marriage ain't work out? So here's my point, man.
Stupid.
Listen, I just feel like everybody. Well, first of all, I don't see through a conventional peephole. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I, get married and have kids or whatever the case may be, that I mean, it is what it is. But just to be out here experimenting, I felt like, especially with my career, and I'm not saying I put my career. I mean, I did put my career for family in certain instances, but I knew what it would be to basically make it on the path I was on professionally. You understand what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
didn't have a lot of time to be rolling dice with relationships, and I just tried to tread softly. Um, but outside of that, I think mm, speaking of my old family, but I get it at the end of the day. I get because they're cut from that grandma and granddaddy cloth, right? Just because you're dating somebody or you see a family reunion 2 years straight, think you're supposed to be married. Um, I just feel
Mhm.
like everybody's timing is different, and I think part of it is too. Let's just keep it real. That when you're on your grind, and then you back at all the breadcrumbs you drop professionally. There was times where like shit, you couldn't have financially, honestly, it didn't make sense. It wasn't feasible. I mean, let's just keep it real.
Uh,
So I think everybody means well, not everybody. Because I've had some folks ask me that they didn't mean well. They just want to be nosy. But some people do mean well, and some people view family unit as something like special, and they view you in the same light. So I get that part, but I'll never let family pressure me to do anything I don't want to do. I don't care who it is.
right.
And one thing I don't do, I try to be mindful of that. I try not to ask even my nephews or family members, anybody. I just behind closed doors. It looks good. It could look good when you see it, but you don't know what they're going through when they leave the function to get in the car. You know, understand what I'm
That
saying?
part.
That shit can be
Yep.
that part. That shit can be
Mhm.
a time bomb waiting to tick. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's gotta be mindful of. I think you gotta be mad mindful of people's situations away from you. Right? That's my
Hmm.
take.
You do. Well, I'm glad you said that. What you said about damn, it just lost me. When you said some people mean well and some people don't.
Yeah,
That's
nosy.
true. That's really true. But I guess when you going through it and people are constantly asking you that,
Hmm.
you go every comment you hear, you're gonna take it as they don't mean well. And I know
Hmm.
that happened from me because yeah, we got married relatively young, and a lot of people asked us, so when you're having kids, we was not trying to have no kids no time soon because we got married so young. But as time went on, I guess around the 5 7 year mark, you start to hear it more and more and more, and it got to a
Hmm.
point where it was annoying only because we were trying to have kids, but it wasn't happening.
Mhm.
And so the effects of that mentally, it will mess you up. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot on a
Yeah.
woman, but it affects the guys too. So a lot of times, people were asking me when y'all gonna have kids. I would come and say, "Oh, it's coming. We trying," but it was eating me up inside. Like, yo, like why you keep asking me that? But it was a natural question that people ask, but it got so bad. Like I started to have an attitude and then realized I had an attitude. You
Nigga
know what
was
I mean?
mad.
Yeah, I was. I was
He's
really mad,
mad.
and I think Kwame, you pointed it out to me. I mean, you pointed out to me after the fact. You know what I mean? But because you in it, you don't realize how you coming off to people. And he saw it, but I didn't see it. But it messes you up, and that's why you don't. I learned from that experience. That's what you just said. I do not ask people when you get married. I do not ask people when you're gonna have kids because you never know what other people are going through. You know what I mean? Like and like you said, they genuinely might just be asking. It's a genuine question, but people gotta think about that stuff when you asking those questions and comments you make because you just never know how you affecting the person, or what they dealing with, and you just might not know. You might get
Yeah.
it that day you ask.
That's
You know what
right.
I'm saying?
You're right.
So you
The
never
Exactly.
know.
business. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's how I feel about it.
Jamie, about you, man.
Family pressure on single people getting married and having kids. Well, my mama never pressured me. She was just
Mhm.
happy that I wasn't out here getting. too many people pregnant. And
That's good start.
I never had a bunch of questions
Busting
about that.
crazy. You was busting crazy in Red Spring, boy. That's crazy.
Hey, man, hey. So I guess I was at a point in business where it's like, okay, I think I can afford a girlfriend. See, people don't talk like that.
No,
You
they don't.
know, you got to be in a position where you could afford a girlfriend. And then when you get one, you got to be like, okay, can
Gotta
I
maintain it.
provide? Huh?
You gotta
Yeah, you
maintain
got to
it.
maintain it. You want a Maserati, you can't, go to a quick lube to get an oil change. I don't want to confuse cars with women, but please understand my point.
Yeah.
So, you got to be able to afford and provide, love and nurture, all of those things. So that's personally, but as far as questioning coming from other folk, I don't recall it much. It was more like when y'all get married. Now, I will give you this story. I was engaged for 7 years. No, 4 years. I apologize. I was in a relationship for 3. Then we got engaged, and then she went to dental school for 4 years. So the question was, when y'all get married? I'm like, nigga, ain't none of your business, right? The obvious answer is she got out of school, but that shit didn't work out. So the question is, what happened? And that's the part we say, none of your business. So, because
And,
you want to sit here and tell you what I did or what happened, I'm not about to do that. It's
and that's
really
what people
none of your business.
and that's what they want. People want to know your business. And also, too, here's another
Mhm.
thing, too. Tammy, you just said it. You said you mentioned having to be, being able to financially maintain, right?
Yeah,
That, but shit, you need to listen. Sometimes you can be emotionally bankrupt. You could
yeah,
be
yeah.
mentally bankrupt. You just got to. It's a lot of factors. And I know for me, man, like I get this from my mom. I do because my mom never. I'm not gonna say she doesn't want grandkids. I'm not saying that, but she does. She's like, look, first of all, it's your life. You gotta live your life. Can't live it for you.
Yeah, it
Second
is
of
your life.
all, that's right. You have to. That's your lane you're in. But that psychological pressure too. Somebody keeps on, like Kasharo said. I'm sure it weighed heavy on Kasharo at some point because it's almost like you're trying to live up to or someone else's standards for your relationship, which is
Or
unfair.
Mhm.
or they making you feel like something's wrong with you because you don't have it.
Exactly. And even now,
Yeah,
and
that's
Jamie,
true.
you may get this too. When you listen, this is how screwed up society is. I'm always my I have some colleagues, older professors, trying to hook me with their nieces and daughters and stuff. And the question will be, so Jones, how many kids you have? I don't have kids. What's wrong with you? I'm like, bitch, what's wrong with you? That's what I want to say. I don't say that. But I'm like, but the thing is, like,
What's wrong with you?
society is so inverted that if you don't have kids as a man or a younger black man or by a certain age, like something is wrong with you, especially in the black community. But nobody's thinking about, oh, this guy's just trying to be strategic. That's all. He's no better than
Right.
anybody else.
Yo, man.
Not trying to have no kids out of wedlock. Look
Yo,
at that.
Jermaine, you just reminded me too, because that's the same thing happened to me probably when I was in my early 30s. Cause y'all remember this. And like I said, it was one of my coworkers. And like I said, by the time I was like 31, 32 years old, I don't even know how we got in the conversation. We were just
I do.
talking. Well, how are we going to conversation? You know what I'm about to talk about? Yeah, you know what I'm about to
Yeah, I
say?
know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, whatever the
She
conversation.
she was congratulating me for having a child, and
Oh,
and all that good stuff. And everybody knew we was close, so you can go ahead and tell the rest.
oh yeah. That's how we got there then. So basically, when she was congratulating Kashara about having, his first child, and then she was like, "Oh, what's up with you?" She's like, "What you shooting blanks?"
Damn,
That just caught me off guard, man. I didn't even know how to take that junk.
that's disrespectful.
Like I was
Very.
literally lost for words, man, because I didn't like it came left field, and then she just freaking gunned it for me. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I've been wrong if I'm saying the rumor mill is that her damn freaking husband knocking her damn head off every other night. But I didn't know. I kept my composure. I didn't say anything, probably because I didn't know what to say.
Yeah,
But
you was caught off
two,
guard. But
I was kind of I was mad as hell all day too. But that because I didn't know what to say, man. I'm like, yo, and like it goes back to because I knew Kashara in the situation, and them trying to have kids and everything else, and how people be insensitive about certain things. So I'm like, damn, like how you know what I'm saying? Like, I might have some issues or whatever, or who. I don't even think I was with nobody either. So, but the point is the fact that it was no consideration and she just freaking just crazy reckless what she was saying.
Very
So
reckless.
it happens. I had another time when this other woman asked me the same thing, like, "Oh, okay, you know, when you're having kids, whatever." And then I said, "Well, I just want to do it the right way. You know, get married and have, you know, saying and have children." And that's no slight against anybody who does it differently. But you know, because I wasn't trying to like be funny when I said it. But then I guess she took like,
That's
"Oh,
your strategy.
but she was just like, oh, so I guess I did it the wrong way then, because I had my kids first, and I, you know, I wasn't trying to make her feel bad, nothing, but you know, that was just
But
my
the
response
answer
at
to
the
that
time.
is yes, ma'am. You did have your kids.
You
If you're
know,
trying to keep it, you know, come on, let me do me, you do you. How about that?
yeah, yeah, you know what I mean. But people like the point is, people just say stuff and they don't really think what they be saying, and that's like, you know, people gotta be thoughtful what they saying. How like you don't know what people's situation is, or if they ready, or if they even want kids, or if they don't even want to get married. Like you don't know, and that's cool. If they don't want to, it's not your life to live for them and say they wrong for doing what they doing. And a lot of times, I think people lose sight of that.
Exactly. And
Mm-hmm.
some people will even question their sexuality or
Yeah.
Yep.
you know, it's just you said it, Kwame. It's insensitive, and I think it's closed minded. You know what I mean? It's disrespectful to shit too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
It's rude.
Yeah, man. So so it's just crazy, man. Like I said, man, people just think before y'all talk, people, listeners. You know what I'm saying? Just try to be considerate. Like I said, we all got stuff we're going to, and like I
Please,
said,
you never know.
and when it's time, you know, when it's a time or God's time for you to do it, then what happen? Like, yo, I'm not on your time. You know what I'm saying? So, hey,
Yeah,
I'm on
that's a
God's
great
time, and
point.
that time when He's ready for marriage to happen, marriage for kids, you know what I'm saying?
Timing.
Then it will happen. If it's not meant
It
to
will
be, then
happen.
it's not meant to be.
it's unfortunate if I know the times that I was asked, if I'd been like, yo, I got 8 kids or 4 kids, been more receivable, probably, or I guess in their world, more realistic. And
No, I think they would
it's
still have something to say about you. They were like, "Damn, you got
unfortunate.
5, 4 kids. Like you married? You ain't
Mm-hmm.
married? You by the
Yeah,
same
true.
chick?
Yep.
Like you get all those other questions. It's like
You
it's
can get it that
always
way
gonna be
too.
something.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Always
Can't make
true.
other people, can't make everybody happy, man. You gotta make yourself happy.
Can't win for
exactly.
losing. If you start with yourself, you'll be all right.
Yeah,
There you go.
Concern yourself with yourself, you should be okay.
definitely.
No
All right.
doubt.
So look, check this out, y'all. All right, hold up, listeners. If you got kids in the room, you better get them out. This is not a conversation they need to be hearing.
What I got in this room right here,
And Saints,
Madison,
the
right up in my
Saints
face.
out there, just hold tight. We just talking from their perspective. All right. So two weeks ago, I was having a conversation with my frat brothers, and he said to me, I don't know how we got on it,
What
but
fraternity is that, Kasharo?
oh, the Great Phi Beta Sigma
So we're
Fraternity
clear. So
Incorporated.
we're clear. All right.
All right.
Just so we're clear.
Nice plug there. Yeah, he was saying, he said, I don't understand when dudes say they had bad pussy. He's like, I don't get that. And I was like, what do you mean you don't understand what that means? And I was like, there is a such thing as bad pussy, vagina, trim, cooch, whatever you want to call it. Everybody know what we're talking about. So I was like,
Shit.
there is a such thing. And he was like, no, it's not, because the outcome for me is going to be the same. I'm going to still bust my nut regardless. He was like, so I don't understand why dudes say that. And I was like,
That sounds like something a Sigma would say.
we'll handle that off camera. So I was like, no, that's not
That
true.
fool said, I'm gonna get me. I'm not gonna concern myself with what is this bad trim I got here, but I'm gonna
Right.
get me.
So he was like, please explain. And I was like, well, I can't speak for other dudes. I can only speak for myself. I was like, I can only say that for me, it could be too loose, it could be too tight. I said it could be dry. I said she could just be laying there. It's so many different things it could mean, but it's to the person. And he was like, but you still gonna bust your nut. I was like, never mind. So you don't get it. So I said all that to say, have you ever been with somebody who had some bad cooch? And if you have, did you go back?
Bad
Or
cooch.
now to where you are in your life now, would you stay? Jamie.
Yeah. I have been a part of some bad cooch. Had some bad pussy in the day, but I've always went back. I mean, it's a piece of pussy. Who am I? I'm not an island. God damn it, I'm gonna get that pussy. I didn't stay around. I just moved around. It's like tag. I'll go when I come back. I go when I come back.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna make up my girlfriend or shit like that. Nah, yes.
She'll
To
get
answer
those.
the question, yes, I have had some bad some bad stuff, and I kept going back. It was trash. I knew it was trash, but it was a place to lay my head.
And
And
what made
it
it
was
bad?
never my
What made
girlfriend.
it bad?
Yeah, what made it bad for you?
Dry, pushing back on my chest. Push now, it hurt. Um, lazy,
Mm.
but more dryness than anything. And it's not because it's like you gotta use the lube and shit. It's like this shit is some bad pussy.
Mm.
Well,
Gotcha.
hopefully she had no medical conditions or anything, but you know.
Well, that's what we gotta be
Oh,
sure. Like, no shade to the women out there who do have, certain conditions, because there are some women who just can't get right. No matter what you do, they can't, and you gotta use
uh-huh.
PAY and all that. So, now we ain't talking about y'all who have the conditions. We talking about the ones who don't. Let's be clear.
You lazy lays. That's what you're talking about right there, dog. Them lazy lays or whatever.
Yeah. What about you, Kwame?
Yeah, I think we all probably been there before. Um, yeah, I think what comes to mind when I was in high school, I was dealing with this chick. She wasn't my girl, nothing like that, but we was kick it, and she's got a lot of attention and everything else. But like I said, it was more of her, saying it was just her being dry, I guess. You know what I mean? I was like, damn. But she said it's always her, so. I mean, like, hell, she might not have been into me, but I don't think that was the case because, like I said, she was just like falling around me like a little lap dog, whatever and stuff. So clearly, she liked, what I'm saying, she liked me, and I ain't had nothing to give her because I ain't had no money or nothing. So that wasn't it. So
True. I understand that point.
yeah, so it wasn't like, oh, she gets something from me, and that's why she's around, and she's not into me. But it was more or less of, she said that she just like she has lubrication issues, whatever, like that. So it was just like it made it not that enjoyable to at all, really. And yes, I went back, whatever, a few times. I had to make sure it wasn't a one-time thing, whatever, and stuff.
Gotta make sure.
Yeah. So and it wasn't that most of the time that I was saying that was the same issue. So it wasn't like saying all that enjoyable. And we was like not young, but like I said, like seniors in high school or something. So it was just like uh, yeah, it was kind of like, I mean, I wasn't like a dude, or I wasn't motivated after a while because it wasn't like that's fun. Everything. So yeah, I had, so
And you went back. Okay, so we two for
yeah, I went
two.
back.
Had
But
it,
she
you went
wasn't my
back.
girl though. That's the key word. Like I said, I never
It
claimed her
doesn't
my girl.
matter. You went back.
All right.
All right,
Never claimed, but I always went back.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine.
Hey, so let me preface what I'm about to say with this. I did double back. Okay, I double back. The issue with this particular incident was this is actually the issue was you guys touched on this dryness. The first time you're like, okay, you know, maybe something nervous. I don't know. And the second time, like, oh snap, and I think that just set the tone for everything else. Pushing back and then he said, and I mean, really, there wasn't really no emotional connection anyway. It'd have been different if there was some kind of emotional connection. But I did go back, and then in college as well, so similar happened. But yeah, both times I doubled back. Shit, I went back, and but there was a point when I was in college though. I was like, I can keep doing it. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't. It just I couldn't keep doing it. It wasn't. It got to the point where it was worth it. Totally, you know what I'm saying? But on the side coin, I've been at the other end of the spectrum too. You like shit, like okay, this is what we dealing with. Let me put these goggles on, baby. Let me put this out cap on, baby.
Yeah, dog.
Yo,
Rubber boots.
boots.
You know what I mean? So listen, but Kasharo, check this out. And listen, I recently had this conversation. A female friend of mine was saying this guy was complaining because she was too wet, and I'm like, that's some sucker shit. Like, how's that happen? But
Yeah,
it
that WAP,
did.
huh? The WAP.
Yeah,
That
that
WAP.
baby, it's to the full power. So my point is, you got some men out here too who would say that WAP is bad too.
Yeah, that's why I said it depends on, who you ask. For
Well,
me,
go ahead, Jim. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Shaw.
I'm a funny Negro, so I'm very particular. So
Particular.
very particular. So I can't think of a time I had some bad stuff, but I'm sure it's happened. I just can't think of a time it happened. But what I'm about to say, I think sometimes, like I said, something just turn you off so much you think it's bad.
Oh, okay.
So
Mm.
Real
there's a
Real talk.
girl who went to our great school that y'all know, but we won't say no names. But so I had to meet this chick in the library. Mind you, we did not have no classes together. So you going to the library to meet up.
Bang out, baby.
Right. So we in the library. I'm finger popping this girl. Like everything is good. Finger popping her, and we like setting it up for the time she gonna come to the room. Cool. We left. I'm walking back to Chili Hall. You know, you had to do like the finger test, the sniff.
Oh yeah.
So I did the sniff test. Man, I thought my insides were gonna fall out. It was horrible. Like to the point I stopped in my tracks. It was so bad. Like it was crazy. And then Kwame, I don't know if you remember. I came back
I remember.
and I let you smell it, and you almost fell out.
Yeah, you like smell this? I'm like, what?
So, so
Yo, it gave me the sniff test. I didn't even know I was giving myself.
Nigga just smell my finger, yo.
it was horrible.
It was bad though.
It was real bad. Like I don't think my fingers recovered to this day from that. But anyway,
You
but
gotta walk around like this for the.
Like Subway.
it was horrible. But I was not mean to the girl. I let her come to the room still
What?
because I was just like I couldn't be mean, but she came to the room, but I should have just told her, made up some excuse because she came to the room and I just couldn't.
Couldn't get it up.
We just looked at the wall and talked because I was so freaking turned off by that smell.
Mm.
I'm not a dude who believes in that off day. You know, we about to come to the spot to set it off some type of way. You should have been fresh. So there's no way that you had an off day. I don't believe in that.
I have to ask.
Just that dude. Go
So
ahead.
give me the rundown. This is you went to the library, then you went to the room, and she came behind you.
No. It was 2 different days. We went to the library to meet up so I could finger pop her.
Right.
She wanted to see what the goods like, all that stuff. So in the library, all this happened.
Savage.
We set up that soon as before we left. I was like, "Oh, you can come to the room on this day." So as I'm walking back to the dorm, all
But
happy.
you didn't try her out that day though.
No, I didn't. I didn't try it that day. But
You got to give it a shot, my G.
well, that's what I'm saying. I'm a funny Negro because, like I said, she did come to the room. In my mind, I kept saying, "Well, maybe it's not that bad," but she can't. I just could not.
Couldn't get past it.
I couldn't get past it, and it could. It
She
might
had
have
that all day
been. It
funk
might
on
have
the
been
back.
good.
Dog. You just
It could have been good, but I
you
just
didn't give her
couldn't.
a shot.
Right.
Hey,
I couldn't.
you know what though? You know what? The same something that happened to me at Central too. And obviously I ain't gonna say no name, but happened to me at NCCU too. I tried to chalk it up as that day, but I'm gonna tell you what happened with me. And it just hit me. So you know how in the dorm, you put the rubber band on the door, right? You know what that means. So me, if Cheryl and I are roommates, like you see the rubber band door now, whatever. So anyway, the rubber band was on the door. When it hit me, when I did the test, I was like, yo, I left some beans on the stove. You gotta leave. I gotta go down here and finish cooking. I was like, yo, I gotta go. Get out of here. Like, I swear to God. Hey, but Kashara,
It's probably the same chick.
I'm
I
not.
left some beans on the stove. We ain't even
It
got a
just
stove in the
me.
building.
I know, right? Hey, Kashara, I swear the same thing happened, man. And I just in my mind, I'm like, yo, you gotta escape. You gotta get out of here, yo. You can find a way to get out. Same thing happened.
That nigga said abort mission, huh? Abort mission. Abort.
Abort.
But
In your soul.
Dang, that's crazy.
mentally, stuff can do that to you. Like to me, anyway. It's just something can't take me back. And so, all right, y'all. I know what time it is.
Okay, you know what time it is. Like Asharo hinted to, there's no clear segue, but let me try. Today's dose of dopeness happens to be my very own fiance. She owns a firm, and it's Faith Bynum CPA-PC. So people matter, and she's a CPA, she's an accountant, and they do taxes. That's the first one. Did she do taxes? Yes, she do taxes, but it's not her. She has a staff of 9, and she runs the whole shop. If you want to get in touch with Faith Bynum, go to faithbynum.com or call her at 919-858-6807 or info at faithbynum.com. So don't call thinking you're going to talk to Faith. You're not going to talk to Faith. You're going to talk to the staff, and the staff will get you in touch with the right people. So
Right. And
understand. What's your question?
no, I was about to
No,
say he's very true, very right
Yeah.
about that because I consider myself family, and I called and I couldn't even get to her. So
No, you're not right to talk to Faith out.
damn.
but I
Faith,
did get some help. She has a very good team, and
Yes.
they helped me with a situation in them like split seconds. So yeah, definitely check her out.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. Good
She's
shit,
in
Faith.
year 6 in business and right off Atlantic. Just give her a call, shout her out. But yeah, today's dose of dopeness is Faith Bynum from Faith Bynum CPA PC, where people matter.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, she actually did our taxes as well too. So like you said, I think that was the first time I actually used a certified accountant. I'm
Public
going to a
account.
CPA firm. I'm going to a CPA firm, so that was a good experience. Definitely, you'll say definitely on top of the game, whatever and stuff. And they have the latest technology. Was able to sign everything via email and stuff like that. So yeah, it was like I said, 'cause we did it and we stay in the DC area, so it worked out. So it worked out good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, hey, you know what? That's good promotion for me. I'm gonna have to check Faith out too, Jamie. So
Certainly. Please do.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anything including
Say again, what Saquon?
so anything.
Hey, let's come on, because we got to watch this debate. That's what we got to do in closing.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Damn.
So
Yes.
We got to watch
Eve.
Kamala knock out Pence here.
Pence.
Yeah. Yeah. He trying to redeem your boy. Trump was straight out the trailer park the
Hey,
other
dog.
night, boy. That nigga
It ain't gonna
straight
work, man.
out the
You think it's gonna work, man? It ain't gonna work,
I
man.
don't think so.
Rat.
Kamala is gonna eat him alive.
she gonna tear it off, man.
I bet she turning them up right now.
For sure.
Yeah. So
All right, y'all. Well, we appreciate y'all for listening. Be sure to check us out on all the streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple, Anchor, Soundwise, YouTube, wherever you stream. Check us out. Subscribe. Hit follow. 4 times dope. If you want to send us, drop us a comment. If you have any more questions that you want to send us, you can hit us up at 4timesdope@gmail.com. That's the number 4. XDOPE podcast@gmail.com and all lowercase.
all right.
No doubt.
Hit that music, dog.
The next